All right, YouTube, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. This is day 2 of the project. So what we are doing today is painting, doing some painting, not finishing everything, but we're doing what we can. So this building had a ice cream shop before, and they painted pretty much everything this teal color, okay? And so what we're doing is we're going back and we are painting everything that was teal black. So the bottoms here were teal, and we started painting them black, okay? The railings here, that's Ollie and my wife. Hello, Ollie, beautiful puppy, only a year old, looking very curious at the camera and the paint. Let's get that away from him. But so we're painting everything. We still got to do another coat of paint on some of this stuff, like the railings, but painted all down there, got all those black. We'll do the building, along the building and the door back there I showed you, and then up top there, we'll do that black here in the next day or so. But yeah, we decided to do a restaurant instead of a food truck, and I'm gonna explain why, but I'll show you everything else, obviously, while doing that, right? So we've painted the bottom of the tables here. Ollie, go on. So we painted the bottom. The table legs are also that teal color. That just doesn't work for a barbecue joint, so in my opinion. So went ahead and did black there. Okay, but let me show you the inside, what we're doing, and then we'll get into the topic, guys. So they should be coming out tomorrow with electricity. That's why it's a little dark in here. But we started putting, the stickers that we need for the health inspection, like on our sink, the wash, rinse, sanitize. We got this prep table last night from Facebook Marketplace, which is great. We picked up this storage shelf for dry storage. This is where I'm putting my spices and stuff like that, all my seasonings. We picked that up from Home Depot. Got some trash cans, right, and some of our stuff that we're gonna need here. And those are the signs. Make sure food safety is being adhered to. If someone's choking, what do you do? That's gotta be in here. Hand washing, sink only. This is a hand washing sink. You can't be washing dishes in there, right? I know it's self-explanatory, but they make you put that sign there along with the signs down there, right? And then something you'll see at every business is this door must remain unlocked during business hours. That's for safety reasons, so if you're fire something, people can get out, okay? So that's that, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and find our quiet place over here. No, I said I was gonna use that office, but I think we're gonna just go over here for now and talk about it. So give me a moment here. All right, so this is gonna have to work, guys, until we get a little bit better set up. What I think I'm gonna do is once I get chairs on this patio, I think I'm gonna set up kind of like a little studio here and start filming these videos before we open early in the morning, so you get to see us grind and working, man. But so topic of the video today, guys, is why we decided to do a restaurant rather than a food truck, okay? So a little backstory, me and my wife have been doing barbecue pop-ups here in Central Texas, Houston area, for the last 4-ish months, okay? And we have sold out every single time we've popped up. What we did was we went to Academy, bought a pop-up tent, and set up our stuff for the health department, 3-compartment sink. We used bus tubs, wash, rinse, sanitize. We used a food warmer, and we brought a smoker out there. We did our thing, man. We cooked under the tent, served under the tent, all that, got our temporary food permit, and all that good stuff every time that we went out and did our pop-ups every weekend. And they were very successful, very successful. Every time we went out, we sold out of food, and we were doing a good amount of food. We were doing about 2 to 4 briskets, depending on the day. We were doing 2 turkey breasts, so about 8 pounds of turkey. We were doing 3 to 4 racks of ribs, and we were doing pulled pork. We were doing big old pork butts and pulling it, doing pulled pork, and we were doing sandwiches, we were doing plates. Usually we did chips and drinks, and we also did 2 side items usually with it. And we were doing very well with it. It was something that I decided I wanted to do full time. and I had a decision to make. Do I go ahead and go the food truck route and see if I can find a food truck that I could either rent or purchase and start working out of that? Because guys, doing pop-ups is fantastic. It's great. It's very flexible, very low committal. But when I'm trying to start, a brand here, I'd like to be in one place, and I'd like to have a place where people can actually sit down and enjoy instead of having to take everything to go. We were just in a field, so there was no chairs for people to sit or anything like that. And so the choice was, around here, there's a lot of taco food trucks, and what they'll do is they'll have their taco food truck, and then they'll have like tables and chairs set up in the parking lot where their taco truck is, and they'll put like an umbrella over or something like that, right? And so we could have gone that route, all right? Or we could have opened a restaurant, leased a space for a restaurant or buy a building. And most people think that doing the food truck route is going to be less expensive than actually getting a brick and mortar restaurant. And that's not always the case. So in our case, we looked at, okay, a food truck, what does that entail? Okay, so we got to get the truck. So probably going to be paying a monthly amount on the truck if you can't find one cash. And we weren't in a position to where we were going to buy one cash. It just didn't make sense for us to do that. And so most people are going to finance a big item like that, because if you want one that's actually going to have, the stuff that you really, really need. Trust me, you can find some cheap ones out there, but you're going to have to do a lot of work on them to get them ready for a health inspection and get them ready to actually operate it. And we wanted to be able to move into something quickly. And to move into a food truck that already has the equipment and is ready for inspection, those are pretty expensive. And so what we were looking at was between $25,000 and $50,000 for those. And what we realized was, okay, we're going to take out a loan to get this food truck, and then on top of that, operating a food truck, you have to have a commercial kitchen. So you have to have a commercial kitchen that you actually restock and dump your waste at every 24 hours, basically. If you're operating, basically what happens is you have what you're doing, you operate, and then within 24 hours, you have to take that food truck back to, whether it's a trailer or a truck, you have to take that back to your commercial kitchen, restock your items, clean, all that good stuff, and dump your waste and whatnot. And what they do is they put a tracker on your truck or your trailer to make sure that you're actually abiding by those guidelines. And if you don't, they can shut you down or fine you. So I was thinking, how tired I am after my pop-ups, and how exhausting it is to bring all that stuff back into the house and do all that, clean everything and whatnot. Doing that, going back and forth, I can only imagine a full day in a food truck and then having to take the food truck across town to a commercial kitchen and have to deal with all that nonsense. And then you got to pay the commercial kitchen to be able to do that, to have your concessions there and do all that good stuff. So that's an added cost. Then you got the cost of propane to run your stuff, okay, the food truck. Then you have the cost of gas to drive it, okay, whether it's a truck or a trailer, either way, you're spending more gas because you're towing in with your vehicle, right? You're not going to get very good gas mileage with something like that. And so there was that. And then also, the inspections for the food trucks can be, in some areas, they can be kind of scrutinous, right? And on top of that, then you have to go find a place to put the food truck. Okay, it's someone that'll allow you to park your food truck there and do it. You can't just pull up on the side of the road and say, I'm opening my food truck. People own that land. And so that's a whole nother cost. So you're paying rent, you're paying for the food truck. It's a lot. It's a lot more than people think. They think it's super easy. They think it's better than opening a restaurant. It's not as much commitment, and I don't think that's the case. So what we did was we decided to rent this space. And like I mentioned in the video yesterday, if you haven't watched the video from yesterday, you need to go watch it. I'm taking you guys from A to Z on how we're opening this barbecue restaurant. Okay, so if you're trying to open a restaurant, whether it's barbecue or not, this information will apply to you. This information will help you. And so go watch that video. Okay? We talked about how to find a place. how to find a restaurant in that video. And so what we did was we found this place, okay? We decided to rent it, and we got a sweet deal. We were able to rent this place on a month-to-month basis, no contract. Did you hear what I just said, guys? You're thinking that getting a restaurant space is going to be a big commitment for you and you're not ready for it and everything like that. Month to month, that means if next month I don't want to be in this place for whatever reason, I'm out. I'm done. That's very low commitment. And there are places out there that do that. Did I pay a deposit? Oh, no deposit. No deposit. Month-to-month contract. As easy as that. No credit check. Nothing. All I had to do was pay my first month's rent. That's it. And you can find a place like that to open your restaurant. You just gotta know where to look. And I talk about that in my video from yesterday, so go check that out. But that's what I'm saying, guys. That's what I'm saying. So we rented this place to open our barbecue restaurant. Now we're getting it ready. We're getting it ready. You see us painting, see us slowly moving equipment into it. We are going to open this restaurant the first weekend of January. And I'm trying to teach you guys how to do the same thing, because everybody on the internet's looking for quick cash. They're looking for side hustles. They're looking for all these different types of advice on different businesses. When I think it's safe to say, I think people are coming around to the fact that you're not going to be able to have some kind of get-rich-quick business. You know, day trading, most day traders, 90% of day traders don't make money, guys. They don't make money. Stop trying to buy these day trading courses, these crypto courses, and start a real business, okay? A trade. Everyone needs a plumber, okay? Everyone needs a plumber. Everyone goes out to eat. Everyone goes to restaurants, guys. That's why I think restaurants is such a great business, is because as long as your food's good, your service is good, and you're in a good location, high traffic, hopefully these AirPods are blocking out the noise, guys. If they're not, let me know down below in the comment section, and I'll fix it. I'll move to a different place to film. I'll figure it out. But as you can see, just the cars going by, this is a high traffic area. This is a high traffic area. So as long as you have a good location, you got good food, and you've got good customer service, a restaurant should work for you wherever you're at in the country. And for those of you who are saying, hey, well, I can't find a restaurant to rent that's in my price range, okay, I'll just tell you guys, I'm paying $1,500 a month. That's less than the rent for the townhouse me and my wife rent. $1,500 a month. That's $50 a day. So if you can come up with a restaurant concept that can make $50 a day, you can cover your rent. Okay? That's less than most people pay for their apartments. Now, are you going to be able to find this right away? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on where you're at in the country. But if you're in a city where $1,500 a month, even for something like this, isn't going to happen, then maybe you need to move. Maybe you need to find a city, a smaller town to open your business in. Maybe you're like, give you an example, the closest big city to us is Houston. It's an hour away from where we're at now. If I were to try to find a building even this size, it's very small, about 500 square feet, in Houston, I'd be paying probably $2,500 a month to rent that space. Maybe more, depending on where it was at. But I decided, hey, I'm gonna go an hour out. I'm gonna go find a place that is gonna be worth it for my business, that's gonna work for my business. And so when it comes to whether you wanna do a pop-up type of business style, a food truck, or an actual restaurant, what I would advise you to do is start with pop-ups first. Start with a pop-up first, because it's very low investment, okay? Very low risk. Get with your health department, you do have to have a temporary food permit. In Texas, it's like $50, okay? It's like $50 and it's valid for 2 weeks. But it's gotta be for an actual event, guys. So you gotta come up with some kind of event. So if you're in the fall, maybe say, we're gonna do a fall kickoff, okay? You know, if you're around, if you're in December, call it a Christmas market or something, right? You got to come up with something. You can't just be like, I want to do this. And, you know, it's got to be, if it's a temporary food permit, it's got to be a temporary event that you're doing it for. And if you have a flyer, that's even better to make it more legit. All right. That goes for like farmers markets, things like that. You can do a pop-up tent and sell whatever you want. Okay, so I would recommend doing that first to prove your concept. Okay, I thought I had good barbecue 6 months ago. Okay, but I didn't know how people were going to view it. I didn't know how people were going to respond to it. I didn't know how people were going to like it. You know, just because I like something, just because my wife likes it, doesn't mean, just because my friends and family say, oh yeah, it's great, you should open a restaurant, doesn't mean that it's actually, the people that will actually pay for it, they don't know you. So open a pop-up, do a pop-up restaurant, do a pop-up, and figure out if the people in your area really like your food or not, will really come out and support you. So you gotta know, what will people pay for in that area? If you're in an area like, since I'm in the state of Texas, we use Texas. If you're in an area like El Paso, Texas, you're right there by the border. What that means is a lot of the people in that area are Hispanic. Okay, a lot of the people in that area are Mexican. So if you want to do a pop-up and you're down in El Paso, I wouldn't suggest that you do Mediterranean food, okay? I would suggest that you do Mexican food, all right? I'm in Central Texas. I'm not gonna do Mediterranean food. I'm just not gonna do it either, right? I'm in Central Texas. What sells is barbecue around here, okay? And there's a culture of barbecue here to where people don't care if you're in a big fancy building. They don't care if you're in a little shack. They don't care if you're in a tent that was $100 from Academy and you pop up on the side of the road. People will stop. If they see a smoker, they see smoke, they can smell that barbecue, they're gonna stop by and see what you got going on and support you. Okay, so you need to figure out what is gonna work in your area and then craft what you're doing to that. Okay, craft what you're doing to that. And so I would suggest doing that first. I would not suggest to go out and just buy a food truck and wing it. I see so many used food trucks for sale on Facebook Marketplace and other places, because what people do is get this idea, oh, I'm gonna open up a snow cone business or a hot dog stand, and they'll buy these cheap trailers or food trucks off of Alibaba or something, and you'll see them up for sale months after they've been purchased, because these people don't take into account everything that they have to do to keep this thing operational and running. The other thing is, where are you going to store that thing? Where are you going to store it? If you don't have a spot already, you're paying rent to have that thing placed there, and you live in an apartment, they're not going to let you store that thing there. You live in a house, you have to put that thing in your driveway. It might fit in your garage, maybe, but I doubt it. And is your HOA going to allow that? Probably not. And if you don't have all your ducks in a row, you go out and buy that trailer or food truck and you don't have anywhere to park it, you're screwed. Now you got to find a place where you can pay them to park that thing, and you've acquired expenses before you've even made a dollar. You know, when I started the pop-up thing, I probably had, I knew I was going to do it, so I spent a little bit of money, right? But to be truthful, man, you could start your pop-up business for $500. You know, $100 on the tent, $50 on the permit, say $250 on the food, okay? And then you got a little bit more money in there for whatever else that you need, all right? The miscellaneous type stuff. So you could legit start a pop-up business for probably $500, okay? And if you guys want me to get more in depth on how to do that, let me know down below in the comment section. I can make a whole other video on how to start a pop-up barbecue business, because I've done it. But that's what I would advise you doing. And then when you feel ready to do so, then I would go into a restaurant like this. And I want you guys to understand something. Just because the rent's $1,500 doesn't mean that that's the only cost or even the biggest cost, because it wasn't, okay? I mentioned it in yesterday's video, but over the last couple of days since I got the keys to this place, I've already spent probably $8,000 on equipment. You know, it takes equipment to run a restaurant. You know, you're not allowed. I'll give you, if you guys want me to make a video on how to do a pop-up business for the low, you let me know and I'll give you all the secrets, okay? I'll give you all the secrets, but you can't be cooking stuff in your residence for a restaurant business. So, what did I need? I need an oven in here, a stove. Not just an oven and a stove, not a Kenmore you can buy from Sears for $300. You have to have a commercial grade equipment, commercial grade shelves, commercial grade prep tables, commercial grade stove and oven, commercial grade food warming and proofing cabinet, commercial refrigeration. Oh my God, guys, refrigeration and freezers. Commercial, expensive. And if you go really cheap on them, try to order it from one of these places online, try to get it on Amazon, Alibaba, Temu. You try to order that kind of stuff from those kind of places, you're going to get what you pay for. You're going to get what you pay for. You go ahead and find a commercial regen fridge online with 2 reviews that's made in China for $700. It ain't going to be working very long. You're not going to be able to find the parts for it when it breaks down. Nobody's going to work on it because they don't know the brand. They don't want us to touch it and be liable for it. And you're not going to be able to get a hold of customer service. It's going to be a nightmare. And that's what I went through was, hey, do I try to go really cheap? Do I try to go really cheap? Or do I get the quality stuff that I know is going to work, that's going to be under warranty? That's the thing, guys. If you need this equipment to run your business, and you go cheap and it breaks down on you your first week of business, and they don't have a warranty, their customer service is terrible, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And so I had to make a decision and say, okay, I'm not going to be cheap on this stuff. I'm going to buy what I need. I'm not going to buy extra stuff that I don't need. But the stuff that I do need, I'm going to buy quality stuff with warranties and from places that are local that I can go physically talk to somebody and tell them, hey man, what you sold me, it ain't working. I need you to come out and get this fixed. You buy something online, shoot, you guys know how it goes. You'll be on hold forever. Whatever you told them is broke, ain't under warranty, all that good stuff. And so you guys gotta think about that stuff when you want to open a restaurant. So do your due diligence. I did my due diligence months before this place even came, and I think honestly that's why God gave it to me, is because I was ready for it. I had already planned everything out. I mean, I planned everything from the equipment to the food costs for an opening weekend to the ambiance. What kind of music are we going to be playing? What kind of decor is going to be on the walls? I mean, I thought of everything before we even found this place. And to be honest, guys, I was going to wait until the summertime. I was going to wait another 6-7 months before even looking at a place. Maybe even 12 months, honestly, guys. But this place presented itself. It was a really good opportunity, and we got in, and we're rolling with the punches and doing our thing, guys. So, in closing, if I were you, I would not do a food truck. I think they're played out. I think it's another one of those where they try. You can make, don't get me wrong, you can make good money and good food in a food truck. I've ran a food truck for other restaurant concepts that I was a part of, but it was an extension of the restaurant business, not the entire business. And I think some food trucks do very well, but if you're new to this, then I would go the route of the pop-up and then finding a brick and mortar that you can afford. So hopefully that answers the question of if you should start a food truck or not. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.